Yes. Father, we thank you for this day, and we give you praise and thanks for the another opportunity to serve. And so, God, like anything else, we put you first. And so, as we start this program, oh God, we pray for your guidance, your continued wisdom. Bless those who are listening. And as we listen, oh God, that we will be inclined to really apply that which we hear, and that, Lord God, there will be a willingness to do that which is in our best interest. So we thank you for this opportunity, and we give you praise in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Guys, I know you have your agenda this morning, but let me let you know real quick.
Yeah, that is what I was going to say. We want to hear the feedback of the people in relation to what we would have discussed last week.
Okay.
So you could go ahead, and then there is something I want to really share before
You
we
leave.
go.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
You wanted to say something, Mr. GQ?
Yeah, coming up at 9 o'clock, we have the national budget consultation. Right, right. So I'll be monitoring. It should be starting at 9, right?
Right.
Yes,
So,
no problem.
which means we'll be wrapping up, yes,
Yes.
but I'll be wrapping up when they start.
Okay,
Yes.
no problem.
Right. So
Okay,
versus we leave at 9 and then they're not ready.
Right.
You know, we'll go as far as we could go to
Until
until
they
they start.
Okay.
We got you.
Got you.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah. So that's what I want to do this morning.
Yes.
Yeah. The clock did a little too fast, you know. So it's not on this morning. But if you like to see it, I can put it on so you can see it. All right. Here you go. There you go. Yeah.
Really fast.
Yeah. Really fast. Can you give that a speed ticket?
We'll have to figure out how to get that done.
Good morning again to those persons out in Radio Land. It's always a pleasure for us to come and feed you with the information that you don't know, even if you know, to make sure that we keep you updated. So this morning, Sergeant Maguire and I will continue on the topic that we would have started with the photo radar. It have been generating some interest from the general public, and that is what we are grateful for, because we always want to hear the feedback, whether it be positive or negative. We're always here to welcome. And so if we want to be honest, Mr. GQ and Sergeant Maguire, we have seen a decline in speeding, and we recognize that persons are, as a matter of fact, someone would have put a video on Facebook where he was saying he was sitting from it, but I think he's in the Frigate Bay area, where he was just looking. He said, I'm accustomed of seeing persons speeding in this area, and I just want to say thank you to the traffic department, for I am looking at it and I feel so, it's just amazed how you see persons are just behavioral changes, and that is what we
and while we are happy that the message has been resonating and people are complying, because it means therefore that we're achieving the objective of behavioral change, but you know, in certain areas people can do it a little bit more faster, because I was driving along F.T. Williams Highway, and people are driving at 20 miles. That's a 40-mile zone in some areas. You know, so
So while there's a concern, they're still overlooking the traffic sign.
yes. And so it's just a matter of really being in compliance, but at the same time, not to a point that you inconvenience the free flow of traffic in terms of the efficiency of the traffic flow.
Talk about the efficiency of the traffic flow.
Yeah.
I have a question for you from one of our listeners. They're asking about the traffic, the photo radar, right? They're asking about it. It appears that you're only in one zone. They hear a lot about Old Road. They hear a lot about Frigate Bay. They hear a lot about the Kim Collins Highway, the F.T. Williams. But they're asking, what about the other side? And is it legally discriminatory to have only one side of the island being photo radar?
All right. Well, that is not so. It's not one side. We did indicate that the photo radars, they are going to be rotated, and there are areas, in fact, that I was asked to identify areas for the cameras to be placed. So even in the policing district, It's just I will have to appeal to the supervisors and the other thing, because we want it to be reflective throughout the federation, including Nevis. And so there isn't any particular selected areas, but we are doing it in areas where we know that there has been problem of increased accidents and increased speeding, the propensity to be speeding in certain less built up areas, street road as we will call it.
Right.
And so it is being rotated. We have already captured footage in Old Road. We have captured footage, GQ, in Sandy Point just Saturday in the space of 2 minutes.
Wow.
6 tickets were issued for speeding going towards Crab Hill. Going up by the Methodist Church there, by the where the Honorable Sean Richards live.
Yes.
And the lowest speed is 41 miles. You have speed captured above 50 miles in that area, in Sandy Point, in the space of 2 minutes on a Saturday between 2 p.m. and shortly after 2 p.m.
Wow.
So we want persons to know that there isn't any one area that is being targeted. We are regulating in terms of the areas, and so that the message can be widespread across the nation. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Here's a voice note for you and Donnelly.
That's the same thing I said. Now the camera then going up now. We want people to drive a little faster because they're holding up traffic. But anyway, I don't over them camera thing. It is what it is. If I get it, I get it. If me ain't get it, me ain't get it. What I'm concerned about is that I find like a lot of elderly people still driving, right? And, a couple of them are coming to me and asking, what can we do for more or less you all to put back the lines them on the road. Up to last night I had a conversation with Powell, that's for Island Purified Water, right? And he was saying the same thing, right? And I said yes, because at one point in time I was driving on the FT William Highway from the Mormon Church to up Buckley's. And I'm driving and I'm looking for the road. When I say looking for the road, I'm directly looking to see if I am on my side of the road. And regardless if it's a road is old or new or wherever the case may be, I think that we should take it up into consideration to try put back the white lines them on the main road. Thank you.
Granny, thank you very much for that information. As a matter of fact, just before we started the program, I would have had a conversation this morning with one of the persons who is doing the road works from the rock and dirt construction, and we would have a road closure tomorrow morning, which is tomorrow the 30th of October 2025, between the hours of 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. The road will be closed from the Gillard's gas station area to the roundabout close to the airport, and that will be to continue road works, and they will be doing the cat eye in the center of the road, and the painting of the side road will come after. Traffic department, along with the public works department, the roads department, we are trying our best to see how and when we can continue and try to finish up the marking of persons that are complaining. As a matter of fact, I was driving from Limekeel using the highway there coming from Buckley's, and because the vehicle that I was driving is not so new and the lights are not so clean on the outside, it's difficult for you to see the edge of the road because they're not painted. So I could clearly understand what the general public is speaking about. in terms of making sure that the edges of the road are clearly marked with the white line, and also the center of the road. So, Granny, we have taken what you said into consideration, and we're working on it.
All right, next question is for you. If a person continues to get ticket after ticket, is there a cap on... is there a cap and then a suspension on one's driver's license? You understand what I'm saying? Repeat that for you.
You mean for speeding?
Yeah, if a person is speeding and they get ticket after ticket,
Right.
is there a cap on that person getting an amount of ticket? And also, is there a suspension if is there a suspension on one's driver's license after that?
Right. So the thing, given that scenario, maybe if somebody keep getting speeding tickets and so on, then we might perhaps consider taking the person to the magistrate.
So that's what they're asking. So the law doesn't have a cap to say, okay,
There is no
5
cap.
tickets.
No, there is no cap. Right? But we do not expect that one will continue violating.
And then what you're saying is that the authority in terms of the license, not the license authority, the police who are enforcing the law, you do not have anything in place to say, well, okay, after this person has been given, you are now suspended for a year or 2?
No. There is an amendment, number 1 of 2025, has been put in place. Amendment to the Vehicles and Road Traffic Act when we have a lot of speeding, and so the amendment seeks sought to address speeding, and so under section 39, for example, where
Section
39 of the Vehicles and Road Traffic Act, and the new amendment of number 1 of 25, there is where it used to be that the maximum fine, if you are convicted at a court, $2,000, that has been increased to $4,000. So you can be taken to court for speeding, and you can be fined the maximum fine. In the case of accidents and reckless driving, you have been charged for reckless driving, dangerous driving, or driving at a speed that is dangerous to the public. Within that amendment, the magistrate, as part of your sentence, if you are found guilty, you can be fined and your license will be suspended up to 1 year.
I must commend you for your memory of the law. This is a lot to remember.
Yes.
It's a lot to remember.
Yes, up to 1 year.
This person is... Oh, can you share the number to get in touch with the traffic? So like someone to report something. What's the number?
Because the traffic department does not have a direct line, they have to go through the government, the police headquarters, which is 465-2241, and you can ask either to be put to the traffic department, or we have extensions. We have extension 4264, 4290, 4215, 425, 420, 406.
4264?
Yes, 4290, 4215, and 4245. I'll stop at that.
So 4264, 4290?
Yes.
And 4215.
And the 4245 with the Sergeant Agwan.
So apparently there is a need to have a direct line, because so that person can engage with the traffic department directly. So that is something we can look at. So then we can have a direct line that we can share with the public. Jiki, going back.
Talk with the public before we go back there. Good morning, you're live.
Hey, morning.
Morning.
Samuel Maguire and Donnelly. I'm going to raise this question again. How close are we in getting by KFC and by Ross University checked in terms of those lot of pedestrian crossings? It's annoying, it's frustrating, especially KFC, because persons still think that it's a personal crossing right there by KFC, and we have very seen accident here there, and God forbid I don't want any more to happen. I know you want to say that they're supposed to get either some paint to paint it back over, but we need to be realistic, and we are not being realistic. This is far, far, far too long to have these two areas is like that. Sometimes I swear to God, which is the crossing by us. That's about 10 crossings. So please, put that on the top of the agenda to have it rectified. As usual, continue, good program, and thanks for being here.
Right.
Before you answer that, let's take this call.
Okay.
Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, Donnelly and the actor. A good program. But looking there by the Ammon tree there, by the university, I see a lot of people look at it by the jail, like coming from up the hill, like kind of high, coming from by the college. This is why boy on college thing there, so you like because somebody went in there yesterday because they said the jail something got tore up the hill and something. So if you are checking, a police has taken this statement from a man. Only he one way in the vehicle. So you all look at these things for people, please, because if you must have your vehicle and when you're done, you can't get this thing. Take a good program.
All right. Hold on. Let's take this call. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, GQ.
Morning,
good
Mr.
morning,
Patrick.
Donnelly, and good morning, Sergeant Maguire.
Morning.
Now, my little input this morning is I want to commend the traffic department and the government to introduce that speed limit on the road. The cameras, them are where the technology begins.
The photo radar.
Yeah, the photo radar, because let me tell you something. I believe that I feel more comfortable on the road and everything now. And he got less accident now. And I believe that if people try to respect the photo radar, because they know that if they drive fast or to overtake anybody in wrong areas and those things, they will get penalized for it. So I just want to commend you all for that. Because it's too much ignorance going on the road. And there's some ignorance going on with because a lot of people don't be aware of what's going on. You understand? And people just want to try to be ignorant. But I believe that is a good step going forward to these photo cameras. And if I could get other things done to control the traffic, especially in the country area, in the village area, it will be very, very, very good. Anyway, you all are wonderful, and may God bless.
All right, thank you for your contribution. And so we are always pleased when citizens can absorb the benefit, can see the benefit of our effort, and we don't take ownership of it. We direct and we take the lead in providing that, but that we always encourage that whatever is achieved is in the best interest of everybody. So we are here to serve you, and we deliver the service, and you grade us, you assess us on how well we are doing in that service delivery. Mm-hmm. And so when we get feedback like these, we feel very good about it.
Okay.
Yes. To go back to where Bucky
mm-hmm.
was saying, in relation to the sidewalk. Now, in the era of Ross, those sidewalks are important. Not the sidewalks, the pedestrian crossing, and that entire area is a school zone. So I am not quite sure why Bucky thinks that there is too many pedestrian crossing within that area. They are a place to facilitate the students moving to and from the school and navigating the traffic at the same time in doing so. In relation to the one at KFC, the thing about it is that the traffic department deals with the traffic management and the enforcement. But in terms of our situation where there is a need for redesigning and so on, the Public Works Department deals with that. So we are basically at their mercy in terms of how fast they move in relation to that. They are aware of the situation. They have indicated the correct fix for it. I think is the promptness and the appropriate time to get it addressed. And so that is the challenge. But we'll continue to agitate and encourage some speed in terms of correcting it.
All right, we're going to take our final call
Yes.
and we're going to wrap up. I know I said we're going to be monitoring the program,
Yes.
but at the
Yeah,
same
about
time,
that.
right. So let's take this final call. Good morning, you're live. Hello? All right, no response. So instead of that being our final call, I'll let this be my final question for you.
Yes.
Individuals are a bit skeptical about the photo radar in terms of its quality. I know you indicated that it's high quality, but will the authorities be thinking about showing an example of how the photo radar pictures look to the public?
I did an interview with ZIZ sometime last week. I don't know if it's already aired, and I actually displayed a copy of the photo reader that with the ticket that the person will receive. I use a government vehicle because I didn't want to have a private vehicle being displayed and that. So you can see very clearly the photo reader take a distant shot when you are leaving, and it takes a shot as to, I didn't even remember how it, and it takes a shot just at the rear of the vehicle.
So one to the front, one to the back as well.
It depends on the direction of travel. The photo reader can capture you coming towards the camera as well as leaving the camera.
Okay.
So it depends on the direction of travel. If you look at this one, you could see that it takes even a very wide distance because you can see traffic coming in the opposite direction.
Right.
And this is clear. You don't want it.
Do you have digital copies so I can share with Granny Bucky so we can share on our timeline?
Well, we have not. No, we don't have. Well, let me not say we don't have the digital copy. I will have to make sure that I'm authorized.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to ensure that I'm authorized. But for the purpose of the interview, I use this one.
Okay.
So that person can have an idea as to how clear the image is. So there is almost no contradiction as to the identity of the vehicle. We may not be able to identify the driver of the vehicle, but that is taken care of in the law, where the law holds the owner of the registered owner of the vehicle responsible.
All right, we have just about 1 more minute to go. I'll take this final question. This person is asking, Jackie, good morning. A question to ask. Aren't the speed camera radar supposed to be identified by sign just like the others? For example, Cattle Bridge, narrow roads, etc. They all have signs. Shouldn't the speed radars have signs as well?
Well, that is something that it's all part of the ongoing effort and improvement. But like I said before, that the objective is behavioral change. And so in this early stage, it is deliberate in not having the identification of the location of these cameras. Some people make it their business to go and seek them out. And they will post them and say, well, one here, one there, and so on. If you choose to do that, then fine. But for us to say, well, one will be at this point and one will be at that point, we are not going to do that at this point.
Because they're not permanent.
Right. And so as somebody made a suggestion that some of these signs can still form part of a deterrent, even if a camera is not there. But you have a sign saying camera in the area, it still will achieve the objective.
Of course.
So that is something that we will do. But we really want to drive behavioral change in the whole effort.
So it's not that the idea is not completely not considered. It's just at this point in time.
Yes,
it's
as a part of the strategy, the overall strategy of achieving road safety. Right, before we go, though, there is something that I really want to correct because, you know, I would have said time and time again that we are not enforcing the speed limit strictly in relation to where you drive above the speed limit, be it in a 20-mile zone or a 40-mile zone. Now, I want to more or less retract for clarity because upon reflection, I recognize that it can be misunderstood in the sense that you could drive beyond 20 miles and there would not be any consequence. How I put it earlier, it kind of take away the discretion that of the police officer, and I will explain why. Now, the thing about it, one mile above the 20-mile zone, you commit an offense. It's an increase. It's a speed above the 20-mile zone. Where the discretion comes in is that should a police officer ticket someone driving 21 miles in a 20-mile zone, and that's where the discretion comes in. So we want persons to understand that when we say that we are not going to enforce, we are not saying it's not a license to drive above the speed limit or increase the speed limit. What we are saying is that, and it spells out in the law, because the 10 miles is really discretionary in the sense that you're in a 20-mile zone, and so if you're driving within that 20 miles, that 10 miles, that while in a 20-mile zone, the discretion can be exercised. So you get a warning. You are spoken to. And the other thing to bear in mind, there are some areas where a speed at 20 miles or slightly above 20 miles might not be reasonable. It also will be unreasonable in some area. Let me give an example. Now, the first roundabout at Frigate Bay, going towards Silver Reef, we can see that 20 miles is a slow speed in that area. But you cannot say the same thing because from the third roundabout towards the St. Kitts Marriott, there is also a 20-mile speed. And so you cannot say that it is unreasonable to drive faster than 20. It is not unreasonable to drive faster than 20 miles in that area. And so that is why we are saying, without taking the discretion away from the police officer who is a judge in the situation. So it does not mean, because if you can drive recklessly slightly above a 20 mile zone, 20 mile speed in a 20 mile zone in certain areas where in other areas that may not be considered reckless. I hope I made myself clear in relation. And it's the same thing for the 40 miles as well. So what we are saying is that when you are driving in these zones, right, the driving between the 40 and the 20 mile speed, that the discretion may be exercised by the police officer as to whether you a ticket is given or you're spoken to. But the in order to say blanket that we will not enforce, that is what I really want to correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So in other words, you'll be upholding the law, but you'll be doing so by discretion.
By discretion. We want that persons to understand that is discretionary. Because you don't want at the end of this at the end of the day, persons say, oh well, the police said that if you drive 35 miles in a 20 mile zone, you wouldn't get a ticket. That is what I want to correct. In terms of, because it's still behavioral change in relation to speeding. What we are saying, in certain areas where there is a 20-mile zone restriction, and you drive above that restriction, that 20-mile zone, the discretion will exercise. Whereas in another area where there is 20-mile restriction, and because of the layout of the area, the road conditions and everything, it might not be the same thing. That's what we are saying.
We really gotta go.
Yeah.
Just a yes or no. Are the speed radars, photo radars? That's what they call speed photo radars.
Yes. Photo radars. Yeah.
So photo radars. Forget the speed.
Yeah.
Photo radars. All right. Are they legal? Were they
Because the word radar really,
so
it's synonymous to speed.
right. So it's like repeating ourselves.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So photo radars. Were they passed in Parliament?
Yeah, they're in the law. In section, I think it's section 9 or section 10 of the same amendment I alluded to. The law says that the police may employ any system or device. I'm just paraphrasing that section to achieve to regulate speed. So yes, it is in the law.
Gotcha. And finally, this is a consideration. Someone is asking that officers be trained how to deal with people on the road instead of escalating situations. They could be de-escalating, especially when it comes to dealing with speed.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Accepted.
All right, thank you. Guys, I really appreciate it. We gone way over our time. I'm going to be checking in with our outside team to see if they're ready. This morning we should be bringing you live coverage of this morning's national budget consultation. It's going to be on television and radio, and we'll be covering this consultation for its entirety of the event until it concludes. Thank you so much, and do have a great day today. Keep it locked as always. Yeah, I need to.
Going too fast.
Way too fast.
With the fire day, driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never, so why all